Hi and welcome to my channel. Today I want to share with you guys this DIY. Yes, I just used 3 frames. I did use the frames. I used mirror that I got from the Dollar Tree, some crushed glass, and I was able to put together this long table runner. Could be a table runner, or in this case I'm using it on my entryway on a table. So let's go ahead and get started to show you how I did this DIY. So I want to make a tray. This tray is for the entryway table, and I want to make it long glam with mirrors. So I'm using 4 of these frames. It doesn't matter the shape because I'm going to put Mod Podge and some crushed glass to almost give it this look. This is for another project that I'm doing. And I go ahead and I remove two of the frames already because we're gonna line it up. I want to make sure that this tray has a frame. So far we're using 4 mirrors, crushed glass, and the Mod Podge, of course hot glue, and the board to put it right underneath to make it a little bit sturdy. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we're going to be doing is just tracing in 2 separate boards, but we're going to be tracing the frames. I really don't want to confuse you guys. So the first thing I did on that foam board, I traced 3 of those frames. Yeah, I mentioned I was going to use 4, but in this case, I think 3 was long enough. But it's up to you, you want to do 4. Once I traced 3. It did measure the whole length of the foam board, which I believe is about 30 inches. So just to play it safe, go ahead and trace 3 of the frames just of the outside. Once you finish tracing your first foam board, now we're going to move on to the second foam board. And on this one, we're going to be tracing the outside, but the inside of the frame as well. And the reason is because we're going to be cutting the inside of this frame. And we're going to use this foam board to create our border. So you will need 2 separate foam boards to create this long DIY that we are making. Once you have traced 2 of the foam boards and cut the second foam board to create that frame, let's move on and let's separate just the bottom part of the frames. As you see, we are going to keep almost a U shape on the frames and just remove the bottom part on 2 of those frames. Once you remove just the one of the bottom parts, then remove the staples with the scissors. It was pretty easy to remove. One of the frames you are going to remove every single piece, and then I'm going to show you how you're going to assemble them. Since we are putting frames, the mirrors all together, there's a little gap there. So we're going to be using the longest part of one of the frames or 2 of the frames, and then we are going to go ahead and put them backwards, and that will go ahead and create that frame. Since we had a little space extra, what I did was I measured that bling mesh. I only created 3 rows, and then I cut and I glued those in there to make sure that any gap that was remaining from the frame that it was showing, then I would just go ahead and put mesh. Now what we're going to be doing is applying E6000. I want to make sure that those mirrors are holding intact with the foam board. So we apply the E6000. We apply some hot glue, and then we'll start to assemble those 3 mirrors after we have applied that bling mesh. Right on top, we're going to apply that frame. As you see, that frame is still as a U shape. We're going to apply as well some E6000, and we're going to apply some hot glue, and we're going to be putting those frames together on that first foam board that you see that we traced. This is how it looks like all completed with the frame. You could leave it like this, how it is. As you see the 3 rows of bling mesh in the corners, and now they're all glue. So since we have some of that other glue of the E6000, we're going to put it to the side to let it rest. And in the meantime, this is the second frame that we did work. We did cut the inside, and now I'm applying some Mod Podge, and I'm applying that crushed glass on top, and we're going to continue doing this all around that frame. Once I finish and it dried, then I apply another Mod Podge right on top to make sure that all those pieces are locked in and secure. Once this set overnight or just a few hours, now I'm ready to apply that frame on top of the original frame. So here I am putting it together, and I am ready to hot glue and apply some E6000 on this frame to the bottom frame. You see a few layers shown there from the frame and the foam board. So we want to cover that with some bling mesh. And as you see, all I needed was 4 rows. So go ahead and cut that with 4 rows. I hot glue the outside all around the frames. And now you can still see some of the frame on the inside. So we are going to be using some of that bling mesh. In this case, it's 3 rows. And we're going to hot glue those in the inside. And this is the final look, guys. I really like how this came out. I used 3 mirrors. And I used the frames. I just used foam board, some crushed glass. I really like how the crushed glass just gave it that other touch, that bling in there. And I really like how it came out. Just let me know what you guys think if you do make this DIY. Let me know also on the comment section. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this DIY. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and until the next video, bye.